Hey, my name's Rich. I'm a freelance filmmaker based in London, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So, I started this YouTube channel just to document what I get up to when I'm at work and the places I go, and also what I shoot. So, it's really just like vlogs and my thoughts, really. Um, so I can share them with you guys, but also so that I can look back in 2, 3 years and just see what I've been up to. Okay, just before we get on to what I'm going to talk about in this video, I'm just showing you what I did last week. This was my last shoot of 2025. Here's me with my lighter kit this time, just one pelly and a rucksack. And then I picked up some extra kit at CNBC. So I've got the trolley, another bag, some stands and a few tripods in that top bag. It was much the same of the week before. So if you go and watch my previous video, you'll see there's more. I go more in depth into how I got the job and what was involved. So this time was slightly different though. So I've got those boom stands. So I wasn't able to get those last time, but that allows me to put the light on the opposite side of the camera so that they basically almost backlights them, and you just get a more pleasant lighting setup. Here you can see my A7S III with that sort of attachment to the back. So that's basically just a little fan, and it has the almost cooling pad on the other side. So it's maintaining a cool temperature, so the camera doesn't overheat. Not that that camera overheats though, so it's kind of fine. And then here we go. Here I'm packed up again, ready to go. So with the trolley, and we got that into a taxi at the end of the day. So that was great. So today I want to talk about my kit wish list for 2026. I've been freelance for 9 months now, since April, and currently I've got a good base of kit, but I've had some learnings from the last year, and I want to address them in 2026. In my last vlog, I showed how I took my equipment down to the train station, got the train into London, and did my job, and then came back. And it was pretty exhausting, and I had some comments being like, "You're nuts, you should just get a taxi." And I agree. I think in 2026, that's the way I'm going to work, and I'm basically just going to get a taxi from here. I'm in zone 4, and get a taxi into London and then back out. I'm hoping that producers and productions will be fine with that. I'm pretty sure they will be, and that is the way I'm going to kind of operate. And what that will allow me to do is to essentially take a bit more kit, because it will be slightly easier for me to get that kit to location or where I need to go. I do have the option of also driving my own car, but I will get onto a point that is massive, that actually black cabs are way better. So in 2025, my work has been good. It's been fine. I don't think it's been particularly amazing. I haven't seen my sort of best work produced in this last year, but that wasn't the point. The point was for me to start working as a freelancer, getting contacts, and just working and earning a living, and which I've done. But at the end of the year, I'm reflecting on that work and how I can improve my standard of work. So previously, when I used to work at a production company, I did have more equipment at my disposal, and as a result, my work was better. I was able to finesse things a little bit more and just be a bit more professional and more efficient than the way I work now. My limitation this year has been sort of me trying to condense my kit down to a portable size for me to manage on my own. And whilst that has been great in some instances, it's sort of not a sort of way of working that I want to keep up in 2026. I want to pivot how I work in 2026. My plan for 2026 is basically I'm going to build a kit that I know that I can use for pretty much any job that I get requests in for. So basically I want to be able to say yes to a job and know that actually, oh, I don't have these thoughts of like, oh, maybe I need this, maybe I need that. My response should be, yes, I can do that job, and then also have the confidence that actually I have the kit to be able to achieve that job. And I don't think that will take too much kit. My jobs aren't the most insane jobs, but some of them require a little bit more than others. So like talking head, yeah, I can achieve now, but with my new kit that I want to build, I want to be able to do that to a higher level. So with this ideal kit package that I want to build for myself, um, really these are the items that I wish I had on the shoots in 2025. So that's really where I've been trying to align myself. I've been thinking, what are the items that I wish I had back in on this job or these previous jobs. So the foundation of this kit is going to be the Rock and Roller R6 cart. So this is a foldable equipment cart that you can fold down, claps, and put in the back of a car, or if you need to store it away, it can do that. But also it folds out, and you can carry quite a bit of kit with it. So this is where this is the foundation of what I will build my kit on. It's great because it means that I can wheel my kit about. It's a bit less effort. Also, the main thing is I can, with black cabs in London, a lot of them have the ramps that come out, and so you can wheel the cart straight into the back of a black cab, and you can then sit in. You can have three people sit in the back with your cart, and then when you park up, you can wheel it off, and you don't need to unload or reload. You can just wheel straight on and straight off. And this is amazing. I've done it quite often before, and this is the way that hopefully I want to work in 2026. So with that as my foundation to transport my kit, let's move on to my actual film kit. Most of these are lights. I think my cameras I've basically built out, and I'm happy with the equipment that I've got in terms of my cameras, but mostly these are lighting things that I want to get. So the main piece of equipment I want to get is a more powerful LED cob light. So something like a 600X by Aperture, or the equivalent by Nanlite, or really I haven't chosen the brand yet, but this is something that I want to get. The reason I want to buy this light is I can see it being very useful. Quite often I have to shoot against windows. I have to sort of balance against the sky and someone's face. So with the 600, it becomes just a lot easier. And so that is one reason. Another is it allows me to create a bigger source of light. The next piece of equipment I want to buy is a big sort of 6x6 diffusion rag, and then I'm able to push that 600 through the diffusion to create a really big source, and that enables me to get a better wrap on a talking head, and bigger soft sources generally look better. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes you want a bit more smaller, harsh source, but that's what I'm going for. That's what I want to be able to achieve. It means I can do a book light if I want. It means I can do, double diffusion. It means that I can balance against windows. So it's very versatile. It allows me to up my game in that respect. And then one other light, or two other lights. I want two LED panels. Again, these are versatile. I can use them in many different ways. The main way I see myself using them is to boom overhead and have a nice hair light. I at the moment I'm not booming. I'm actually having a stand off to the side, so it would be over here somewhere, and it would be hitting in, and it just doesn't give me the result I want. I want to be able to boom over and have a hair light hitting here and the shoulders, and just not being on the side, because it just doesn't look as good. But also the having two panel lights means that if I need to light up a background as well as a boom, I can put one on the ground pushing up and lighting the wall space. Or for instance, if I'm lighting a green screen, I can light that separate to the person. So again, versatile lights that will allow me to say yes straight away to jobs, without really having to worry about have I got the equipment. So 2 LED panels. Again, I've not really thought about the brands yet. I've looked at the Amaran panos, which I don't think I'm going to go for. They look too content creator for me, who says, with his YouTube setup and stick mic, lol. But yeah, they're just, I don't know if they're going to be quite the right fit for my film gear. I've looked, I want to look at the Pavo Slims by Nanlite. I think they might be a better option. I know that they're quick to set up and they're more robust. So those are what I'm thinking. But if you have any recommendations for any of the kit that I'm talking about, please comment below, because that's so valuable to me. And then the last 2 things are pretty boring, but I think quite useful things. So one is a C-stand with a boom arm. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy a C-stand. Not the most interesting or flashy purchase, but kind of necessary. And then I'll buy a baby boom to be able to boom over and, do that hair light that I've been talking about. And then the other one is a foldable 4x4 floppy. I am quite used to working with 4x4 floppies. Normally I don't get the foldable ones. I rent in the normal ones, and they're quite inconvenient because they're so big and quite bulky. So normally you can't get these in the back of a car, unless you've got a really big car, but you can get a foldable version, so the frame folds down and then the material will slide on once you've folded out the frame. So that's what I'm going to get. The floppy is just useful. It's so good for creating neg on a talking head, or blocking out light where you've got lights overhead. So, or you want to block up a window or anything like that. They're extremely useful. They are a bit better than a 5-in-1 reflector, which I normally use for neg fill. So yeah, but please let me know if you have any recommendations on the brands that maybe I should consider. I know for the panel lights, I've been looking at the Nanlite Pavo Slims, but also the Falcon Eyes rollable flexible lights, because I've used them before. They're cheap, and I think actually I can buy 2 of them for the same price that I could buy 1 Pavo Slim. So there's some thoughts to be had around that, because again, I don't have the most money in the world. I'm sort of still trying to be sensible with my kit purchases and not spend all of my income on kit, because that's dumb. But yeah, so I'm hoping that these decisions and this plan for my kit in 2026 will lead to better work, but also preserving my body and meaning that I don't get as wiped out from when I am lugging kit about. So if you have any thoughts, let me know in the comments. But thank you so much, and have a great Christmas and New Year. Thank you so much. See ya. So just a little behind the scenes of my office when I turn it into a YouTube space. This is the first time I've ever taken it a bit seriously. So I've put my key light here, and then that's quite high and on an angle, so it doesn't really catch this back wall as much. It does catch it a little bit, but not as much as if I was to put this like that. And so it's up a bit higher and pointing down, isolating me here. I've got that 5-in-1 reflector that I want to change to a floppy, so that's there. And then a little backlight up here on a little clamp, so that's on a super clamp with a pin, and then that is also powered by V mount here. It's currently on 3% and it's on 3000 Kelvin, so that's contrasting to that. So you can see I've got some light contrast between this light and this light, which I personally really like. And then also in the shot you could see the orange light from down here. This is just a tube light. I've had these for ages. This is a like portable Godox tube light, so it's battery powered. These are great because they're also magnetic, so that I can stick them anywhere there's a metal surface and they will shine light on things. And then here on my window, I don't have any, well, I do have blinds, so I could have done that, but I wanted to test out my little sort of hack that I've come up with for blocking windows. So when I go on set and I need to block out a window, I do take this bit of fabric, but a lot of the time, sometimes I've done it in the past where I've gaff taped it to a window, but actually I came up with this little solution. So what I've got here is a little suction cup that I stick onto the window, and then what I do, because this is so light, I can actually, if I put the cloth over that suction cup and then with a little clamp hold it on, and then basically that holds on, and then I can put that in to slide that up into position. Normally I would just put it where I want it, and then, you know, there you go. And so that actually then covers the window, and then when you come to take down, it's literally just bam, 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 and the window is down, and then you just got to get your little suction cups, and it leaves nothing on the window, and everyone is happy. So yeah, there you go, there's my little setup.